على علي من الشيطان الرجيم اللعين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Dear brothers and sisters, may the peace of Allah be upon you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ya ayyuha al-ikhwa wa akhawat. So we continue with the content of Filipino combat system and its concept. So this is a concept that you can apply to all the family of the support of the Filipino combat system, which is very rich in kind in terms of influences and very consistent in its core philosophy and application. So, second concept is deception. So, second concept is deception. So, even in Islam, we have well-known hadith regarding the permissibility of the use of deception. عن النبي صلى الله عليه وآله الحرب خدعة. So from a hadith present in different books of narration, so in the Sunnah of Rasulullah, you can find in al-Bukhari في باب الجهاد, in Sahih Muslim في باب الجهاد كمان, and other great book of tradition. You have some asanid from Abu Huraira, which is considered by real people of hadith as problematic because his tendency of lying. And you have also from Jabir, which is a more potent, eminent companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you have also other chain of narration. So when you trick somebody in terms of Islam, someone which shares the same faith, even there is difference in madhab, you are in fact in war with him. This is a tacit declaration of war. So be cautious with what you do. Maybe someone is not from your school. Maybe someone have different opinion on some Islamic issues. But in the eyes of the Almighty, he can be a pious man. And the fact you enter in war with him can be problematic for you. Because when you use trickery, even to concurrential school of thought in the realm of Islam, you can switch from the position of a servant of God to an enemy of God, because you target by trickery, which is a weapon of war, which is only al-had. The limit to use it is only in war. So when you use trickery, know that you are in war with the person in front of you. Marhaba, assalamu alaikum. So welcome to a new subscriber. Thank you very much. So deception, perhaps one of the most often quoted principle of warfare in Sun Tzu statement, open of quotation, all warfare is based on deception. And كلمات رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله في سنته: الحرب خدعة. So the war is literally a kind of is deception, is trickery. Mao Zedong based his military strategy on this concept, often quoting his four slogans coined at Qingkongshan. Open of quotation: when the enemy advance, we retreat. When the enemy halts, we harass. When the enemy seeks to avoid battle, we attack. When the enemy retreats, we pursue. So, some adaptability, some strategy in dealing with enemies. The underlying point of this slogan is that in combat, one cannot afford to adopt a static attitude. So adaptation is key. Fight IQ is key. Mao went on to elaborate on the principles that he borrowed from Sun Tzu. So Sun Tzu, the well-known author of the Book of Warfare, or the Book of War. In general, the shifting of forces should be done secretly and swiftly. Ingenious devices such as making a noise in the east while attacking the west, appearing now in the south and now in the north, hit and run, and night action should be constantly employed to mislead, entice, and confuse the enemy. And we've seen lately the use of this kind of philosophy and strategy in modern warfare too. So there is no real humanity in kind of brotherhood between nations. All nations try to pull the cord, like tug of war. This is sadly the case, even in this age of development, of abundance, of opening, of value, stuff like that. People can, and government and nation can accept the suffering of others for their own expansion. And this is the motives of the wars today. Flexibility in dispersion, in concentration, and in shifting is the concrete manifestation of the initiative of guerrilla warfare. So, a well-known issue in the history of the Philippines. Whereas inflexibility and sluggishness will inevitably land one in a passive position and incur unnecessary losses. So sometimes when you are not mobile, stone can break more easily than water, for example. Water adapt, takes the form of the recipient, but the stone crack under pressure. It is strong, but it will crack at one time to another. But a commander proves himself wise not by understanding how important the flexible employment of forces is, but by being able to disperse, concentrate, and shift his forces in time according to specific circumstances. This wisdom in foreseeing changes and right timing is not easy to acquire, except for those who study with a receptive mind and take pains to investigate and think things over, in order that flexibility may not become reckless action. A careful consideration of circumstances is necessary. Samuel B. Griffith, translation of Sun Tzu, The Art of War. No matter what your opponent expect you to do or wants you to do. You should do something completely different. So the element of surprise is something that is important and can be key at the right moment. Utilize diversion and deceit. Make up the rule as you go along. Exploit your enemy every weakness while at the same time attempting to conceal and minimize your own weakness. Philosophical application. You should not be dishonest, but likewise, you should not be transparent. So, opacity of the thought, opacity of the mind is also key. Don't be someone that can be read easily. Do not allow yourself to be easy to read. You should not make known your every thought, emotion, and desire. Knowledge is power. So when you give knowledge to someone who harbors some malice against you, you give him some keys of power against you. This is a double-edged sword. The more knowledge people have about you, the more power they have over you. Take special care to conceal your weaknesses and to reveal your strength. A self-depreciating person will soon find others in agreement with him. So being weak is sometimes an assurance of not being taken as an enemy by other jealous people. You may need to demonstrate your strengths many times before others take notice. You need only mention or show your weakness once, and people will always remember them. Never speak or think in negative terms. Do not make negative statements about yourself, even in jest. Do not vocalize awareness of negative conditions. Do not say things like, I feel tired, or I think I'm getting sick, or I don't think I can do this. Statements such as these can cause you to fixate on pessimistic possibility that may become self-fulfilling prophecies. When you have some thoughts, it can and it will materialize in the materialistic world in a form or another. The cosmos is receptive to your vibration. It is something to understand. Even when you use some microscope and some lenses, you can see that your word, your vibration have an effect on water, for example, which is one of the most malleable element on Earth. So there is a direct translation of your positivity or your negativity. And so are the people. They can detect, an animal can detect, which has, like a dog, which are highly sensitive. Animals can detect your swing of mood, your confidence, and stuff like that. Even to chemical degree, not only a mere vibration. Avoid criticizing others. So even in Islam, we have this concept, like criticizing other is like eating the flesh of a brother. So it is like cannibalism. If you frequently criticize people, those to whom you do the criticizing will soon begin to suspect that you may criticize them behind their backs. so they can feel also these things. Because there is, of course, some objective element, because you did these things, and it can go back to their ears by other people, which will in turn criticize you. And also, there is some bad setting in the harmony between the relation of different individuals. And people can sense this kind of trickery and treason. Carefully work to make your image positive, radiate strength, goodwill, and confidence, even when it does not exist. So, your current mood is not an excuse to appear deteriorated in front of your audience, of the people, your greater circle or inner circle. You have to show and to expand out of your body an image of confidence and strength. This is very important. This is something that can have a tremendous amount of leverage in your life, in all encounters, good or bad. Image is everything, and the image is everything. بالتصوير, the way the human work is based primarily on the sense of the eyes, the vision. So, vision take and judge the health, judge the charisma based first on vision, of the image you depict. Do not leave it to chance. Carefully set out to be the architect of your image. The way you look, the way you act, and the way you speak has a great impact on the way people interact with you. This is like your card of visit. Focus not on who you are, but rather on who you want to become. So, on the goal, on the objective, rather than your current state, which is in fact journey to your goal, to your ideal way of being. Create this person in your mind, show this person to other. In time, you will become this person, because later, sooner or later, you will become the person you decide to be by discipline, by constant work. Below, the opponent is baited. He thinks he has an opening to attack your head. So this is some techniques, I think. And so this is the end of the second concept of deception. Deception that can have a lot of martial application. This is the philosophy of the concept. Sorry, I just look some message. Hi, Ali. And there is another person, Ayushi, which removed one of his message. So very interesting content in this book. Of course, the aim of this lecture is not to read all the book. There is a technical aspect. There is also indication, side notes on weapons, specifically designed for or adopt by this martial art and stuff like that. And people of Philippines are well known to be original in what they use, and also they don't try to use some interesting, well-established tools of other neighboring country, or even from the American or the Spaniard or the Japanese. Also, some schools use katanas and stuff like that. Why not? So this is the end of concept number 2, deception. اللهم صل على محمد ومحمد. التمس الدعاء. الله معكم. إلى اللقاء. مع السلامة.